The Adaptive Cooking Show was written, filmed, and produced by Sydney Anderson, a recent high school graduate who, like many of us at that age, is in the process of determining where she wants life to take her. Her decision, however, is greatly complicated by the fact that Sydney suffers from a chronic illness. When she's feeling well, Sydney likes to explore art and creative writing, but baking cupcakes, then giving them away, is her favorite way to create goodness for herself and for others. Sydney's co-star in the Adaptive Cooking Show is her mom, Jody. Brace for impact. Here comes the Adaptive Cooking Show.
Welcome to Adaptive Cooking, S'mores Cupcake Edition.
Hi, I'm Sydney.
And I'm Jody. We're the Andersons. We've been members at Foothills for about 12 years.
And this is our Adaptive Cooking Show.
So you're going to see these graham crackers a little bit later. We learned that when mixing the dry ingredients, it's important to whisk them together and fluff it up a little. Really helps with the gluten-free.
Oh, and big one, I keep the counter clean because I spill a lot. So if you keep the counter clean and then you spill the flour on the counter, you can just sweep it off into the bowl and keep using it.
This was Sydney's idea for putting a layer in the middle. So you can see from left to right that we put in a little bit of batter and then a layer of graham cracker crumble. And you might want to make extra because they're delicious on their own. And then sprinkled in some chocolate chips. And we decided we need more chocolate. Always more chocolate.
So Sid, what are some ways you've adapted cooking so that you can do it more often?
So I struggle with my pain quite often. So a few ways I've adapted cooking is one, will sometimes do it in pieces. I'll just get out all the dry ingredients, throw them on the counter, and then 3 hours later come back and do the rest. Or another thing I've done is given up on trying to have the process be in any way, shape, or form tidy. You know, the cracking of the eggs and trying to be very careful. It's a lot easier to just stick your hand right in there and pull out the yolk. So I have given up on being clean in all senses.
Seriously, a messy cook. So the other thing that helps her be an adaptive cook is to have a sous chef. That means someone who cleans up behind her.
So here I'm starting to make the frosting, and this is what I meant by just dive in and grab the egg yolk. I find it much easier to just reach right in and pull it out. And as long as you don't smash it while you're pulling it out, the yolk doesn't break. You just have to rinse your hands afterwards. Now this frosting we're making is a marshmallow frosting. It is absolutely delicious, and it's literally making a marshmallow. The only hassle is the double boiler part, where over here we are trying to dissolve the sugar.
The really nice thing about this too is a meringue or a marshmallow like this is a great dairy-free alternative.
Super, super easy, and people are so surprised when they find out there is no dairy involved in making a marshmallow. It is egg, sugar, and cream of tartar.
So right here, I'm testing to see if the sugar has dissolved by just pulling a little bit up the side and feeling for it to be smooth. And there you can see how we accomplished our little double boiler.
So then it just takes a lot of whisking. And it's really important to get it to stiff and super glossy. Super glossy. Because that means it'll keep longer, because you are bound to have extra frosting.
Which is a good thing.
Which is delicious because you can put a marshmallow on almost anything. So this needed more whipping. So I scraped it down, checked it, and whisked it back a little more. And then when I'm filling a pipette bag, I like to use a cup because it holds the bag open really nicely. And you can just scrape your stuff in and clean off your spatula. And then you've easily got a filled pipette bag, and it's a one-person job. And frosting cupcakes is always my favorite part of making cupcakes. This marshmallow frosting is a marshmallow, and it is a mess and super sticky. So it's fun to work with, and it gets really cool textures. And I love frosting, so I double layered it.
So now she's gonna go super speed!
And as you can see on the side, there's a lot left over.
So now Sid's showing you that she's basically just using our lighter. And this was her idea the first time she made this recipe, which is, it's a marshmallow, why not toast it? And
Light it up.
she loves playing with fire. So this ended up making a really nice flavor and a really cool exaggeration of the texture.
Why did you start your first adaptation of baking, which was gluten-free?
Yeah. So we started gluten-free when we found out that Daddy, DJ, is a celiac. We found that out quite a long time ago, but really for everybody in the family, it's just kind of an anti-inflammatory way to eat. So we've switched over to gluten-free for a long time. And then in the last year, we started doing dairy-free. And so learning to do, gluten-free baking can be kind of dry, and dairy helps add moisture, so replacing that in the right balance. Sid loves to experiment. Like, she'll take a recipe and really mess with it. And a lot of times that turns out great, and sometimes it turns out not great, but that experimenting is what helps us get it to the texture that we like.
Here's some of our favorite ingredients. King Arthur's baking flour. Don't use cup for cup. We found out it has milk in it. Nyokos is our favorite dairy substitute, but it's got cashew. You gotta watch that. Use Earth Balance instead if you need to, and all of these brands can be found at natural grocers.